Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Live. I am terrified. The reason why I'm terrified is because it's been a beautiful day all day, but now it's like nighttime and it's thunder and lightning, and we all know what happened to Scott, which is unfortunate. So his street got hit by lightning and it blew up all his stuff. So I'm terrified right now, but we're going to do it. We're going to go for it because I have a special one for you tonight. I was thinking about a lot of things, and I have this microscope, and I'm like, can I do a live feed with the microscope? And that's what we're going to try tonight. So I don't know how it's going to work. Might not work at all, but we'll see what happens. What could go wrong? First off, huge thank you to Honey Rivera. She was our super thanks giver. I keep wanting to say star giver, but the super thanks giver from last week, and I completely appreciate that. I can see you guys rolling in now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to try to get comments in a reasonable place here in a second, so we'll figure that out, hopefully, as we go. I don't know. What else we got? I got a few things for show and tell. And then we're just going to get on this X1, this penny. So it'll be fun, I think. I hope. Maybe. We'll see. What I don't want is volume here. Sorry, I'm doing all kinds of goofy stuff. There we go. Okay, good. Let me switch things around. Now I have a special treat for those of you who are new and have not been around for a while. Those little black and white paintings I do, I call them 543s. The reason I call them 543s is because, I'll make sure the mic is on too. The reason why they call it 543s is because I used to do 5 of them, and they're 3 inches by 4 inches or 4 inches by 3 inches, and that's where the name came from. So recently, I haven't been doing 5 of them because it's been crazy busy, and I also have a lot of them, and I want to kind of, thin the herd a little bit. But this week I did 5 of them for you guys, so that's fun. So we'll look at those, and we'll get going. Is that all I have? Yeah, let me do. Show and tell is going to be weird, and I'll show you why show and tell is going to be weird. The Visionaire is gone because of the microscope. So we're going to try to figure that out as we go, and I'll say hi to everyone. Dan Mayer, what's up? Honey Rivera, hello. Ian, what's up? Gary Shees, what's good? Poco, what's happening? Grumpy. Grumpy's here. I need to mention something. Brother Bob, what's going on? Dwayne Marshall, what's happening? I'm waiting on mats for the paintings. I thought I had a whole bunch of them, and I didn't. So I got stuck without them. So they're coming in. As soon as they do come in, all the winners will get their paintings, and that includes these tonight too. They should be in tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Do I have anything else before I want to get into those? Yes, I do. I made a post the other day, or not. I sent an email out. Oh, let me switch back. There we go. I sent an email out. I have a mailing list on my website. So if you are in the mood for some decent emails, or you can hook me up and go sign up for the mailing list. Basically what I do is I make announcements when there's a brand new painting. Like the Audrey Flack painting that I just finished. And then also people on the mailing list get special notification. So they get first shot at new paintings, but they also get special notifications on sales or extended sales. So I'm going to let you guys in on what I told them. And to make it right, if you wouldn't mind signing up for the email list, that way I can say that everyone on the email list knew. But what I did was, the summer sale was a blast, and what I did was I extended it till the 15th, and I did that only for the people on the mailing list. So if you wouldn't mind going sign up with the mailing list, you guys can do it too. The code will work if you don't sign up for the mailing list, so that's what's going on. But it's summer 25, and that'll give you 40% off everything in the store, including all the 543s and originals. All right, so let me do some show and tell here. Like I said, I'm going to try to make this make sense. Because I don't have my thing. So, which is kind of cool though, because you get to kind of see under the hood for a change. This is the table that I have set up for this, for my Visionaire, and I'll move the microscope for a second here so you can see what's going on with my setup. Unfortunately, I can't move. Oh yes, I suppose I can. I'll regret this one later, moving this camera, but we'll move it a little bit. So there it is. So that's the Visionaire. That's the plate. that goes into the bench. So the bench for me is it's a 3 foot, yeah, I'm gonna say 3 foot by 4 foot. It's a butcher block table, and the reason why I got butcher block is because I actually cut a big slot in it for the Visionaire plate. So what happens is with that big Visionaire plate, basically everything you see that I paint on, the panel, the little tablet holder, you know, the magnet holder, all that stuff is all on one tube, one extruded aluminum tube that goes down through this little channel right here. And what's cool about the way I did the table, and I'll see if I can do it for you, these 2 bolts right here just unscrew, and there's like the slots in it. So this will slide forward and backwards. So if I have the jig in there with the airbrush station, I can move that forward or backwards depending on where I want it. There are all kinds of other jigs you can get. There's one that holds a guitar, there's a skateboard one, there's RC car body one, there's a helmet jig, there's all kinds of stuff. So that's why I got this set up, in case I get different jigs later on. But that's kind of how that works. And like I said, you never get to see this because it's behind everything. So I figured I'd show you. And then it just kind of screws in there. So it's pretty cool. But I couldn't do the microscope thing with that in place, so I took it off. So here's the microscope, but we'll talk about that in a second too. But let's finish up with the fun stuff. I did get a couple things framed, and I wanted to do this because I announced to the mailing list folks that the sale was going on. So what I did was I got the 56 Bel Air hood ornament that we painted live. I got that framed up. That's in an open floating frame. So that's ready to go. The other thing too is these are not what they were originally up for, because I thought I was going to put these behind glass, but I didn't. So these are on the front page. If you want, you know, grab these. You'll get them framed for a ridiculous price with the sale. So that's the first one. Oh, the other one, which you guys haven't seen in a while, was, sorry, I got dust all over it, is the brass balls we did. So this is all framed too. Same similar frame, a little bit deeper inset, but this one is also on there too. Same price. So if you want an original painting at a dirt cheap price, these 2 are on the site right now. They're on the front page. And finally, this one is not on the front page or for sale yet, because this is one of my entries for the Ashtabula show, and that's Albert's Fender, and that's the frame that I picked out for that. So this isn't done yet. It's not attached or anything, but that's kind of how that will look. Kind of a vintage, old-timey frame. So that's that one. Again, that one's not available, but figured I'd show it to you anyway. All right, so now let's look at some paintings, so we can get on it. And I'll say hello to everyone. Steve, what's good, but what's going on, man? Michael McClung, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday, Michael McClung. Patricia, what's up? Welcome. What else we got? Mr. Garcia, what's happening? Mike Stevenson, what's up? Mike, I'm sorry I missed your call. I missed everyone's call on Thursday. I was actually out with all the museum folks Thursday night, so I didn't get my messages till I got back. But speaking of Mike, tonight's cheers is Rheingeist Truth. This is one of the beverages that, the beers that Mike Stevenson introduced me to from Rheingeist, which is in Cincinnati, and it is a good one. I don't have my little beer koozie. Oh well. All right, let's look at these paintings. So I do have 5 of them, which I'm pretty excited about. I don't know why I pulled. Well, I had a little bit of time, so that's why I pulled them off. But still good. Let's go here. Yeah, I guess we'll do them up here, and then we'll try to move them around. All right. Lightning storm. Yay, Patricia. I'm hoping the storm is going to pass. So, okay, first one is from your buddy and mine, Jeff Simon. Jeff last week asked for a conch shell. So this is what I came out with. I don't think I've ever done a conch shell before. I saw that, honey. You're awesome. Just popped up. Oops. Here we go. The conch shell, or the conch, is the generic term that includes several species of sea snails. The true conch is from the family Stromyidae, and it includes things like the queen conch, which is a great example of that. What do I got to tell you about that? These snails are herbivores. They eat algae off the seabed floors. Individuals can generally live for about 7 years, yet in deeper water they can live for anywhere from 20 to 30 years, which is cool. They currently reside on the vulnerable status due to overfishing and ocean acidification. So while they are pretty, the shells are beautiful, we got to take care of these little guys and girls. So that's it. So that's the first one. And I just call that conch. I should have called it conch, like K-O-N-K or C-O-N-K, but I did not. That's that one. Next one up. Wayne, what's going on? Oh, nice, Michael. I know it's tough to type with the gloves on. Next one up is from Matt. It's Kelly Drake. Kelly last week asked for a melting ice cube. I've done painting similar to this, but I love painting ice, so I did this one. I know, what can you say about ice cubes? Ice is, of course, the frozen state of water. It, of course, happens at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 217.15 Kelvin. The way it works is the bonds that solidify water at these temps are from oxygen atoms sharing electrons to form a bonded pair. This is called covalent bond. This bond causes molecules to compact at lower density, and that's why ice cubes float. So there you go. I know more than you needed to know about ice. So that's my ice cube one. And that one just called melted. Melted. Again, I will have mats for these within a day or two. Who is next? I know, it's weird having 5 of them. Next one is Rhea Shea. Rhea last week asked for an Appaloosa horse, which I have never done. And that's what I came out with this guy. The Appaloosa is an American breed of horse, most noted for its distinctive spot pattern, very much like Dalmatians. The Nez Perce of the Pacific Northwest are most attributed with the breeding and creation of the Appaloosa. After the Nez Perce War of 1877, this breed fell into decline, with only a small number of breeders continuing the line. Today, however, they are the most popular breed of horse in the U.S., and they are the official horse of Idaho, which is fun. So that's my Appaloosa. And yeah, I know, it wasn't very creative, but I call that one Appaloosa. I know. I had more time, but not that much time. Next one. Mr. Gary Shees. Gary last week asked for Pinhead. I don't think I've done Pinhead yet, so here's my Pinhead. And if you're a horror fan, you will know this dude. So Pinhead comes from the British movie Hellraiser, which debuted in, I was going to say 1887. No, in 1987, directed by Clive Barker. This classic horror movie was based around a very evil little puzzle box that was tended by Pinhead, who was played by Doug Bradley. The budget for this movie was $1 million, and it topped the box office at $30 million, which was pretty cool. So that's my little Pinhead, and this is the iconic Pinhead. This is the one you always see. I was going to grab another image of him, but this is the one. And yeah, I know, super creative. That one's called Pinhead. Last but not least, number 5. This is if you are a YouTube member already, you already know what this one is. If you're not a YouTube member, what are you waiting for? You can get early access to the time-lapse video, which comes out tomorrow, and it is Rick Lotta's suggestion. Rick, this is a perfect example. If you ask for something enough, I'll eventually do it. Rick's been asking for this for a while. So Rick wanted the ISS crossing the face of the moon. Of course, the International Space Station actually began its first launch of components in November of 1998. Its overall mass is nearly 1 million pounds, 450 kilograms, and it's currently manned by 7 people, and there have been 73 people stationed on Alpha Station in total. So if you'd like to know when you can actually see the ISS pass over you, it's pretty cool. I couldn't find any charts to determine when the ISS would transit the moon like this, but you can definitely see the ISS from the ground with a good pair of binoculars. You can use You can use like a website like heavensabove.com, or I use the mobile app Stellarium, and that'll show you. Stellarium is nice because it shows you where everything is, but it'll also show you where the ISS is. And it's a good start, and then you can kind of pick it out. But that's my little ISS, transiting the moon, and that one's called Transit. Hooray! So there you go. So if you win tonight, congratulations. You can pick one of those. Nice. Michael's been painting all day. That's amazing. I love that story. So you can pick one of those. We have 10 people on the list eligible to win tonight. So if you win tonight, you can choose one of those, or you can pick one on the site. And other than that, oh, yeah, they're all on. I was going to say I forgot to load them up, but they all the 543s from tonight, except the one that's chosen by the winner, if they choose it, will be on the website right after. I know everyone's talking about the Aussie concert. It's awesome. Aussie app called ISS Detector. That's really cool too. Yeah, there's a bunch of them I saw. There you go. Everyone can type in their first concert. Mine was Motley Crue in 1985. So it was the prime Motley Crue. It was right during Shout at the Devil and everything. I saw them and Rat became my favorite band ever. All right, let's get to it. So here's the microscope. This is the microscope that was given to me by my friend George. I was never going to do this. Never. And George went and did this. He said that George is a great guy. He's an amazing guy. He's basically a ghost hunter for expensive cars. So basically, if you have like a Mercedes or a super expensive car and it was having like electrical weirdness, like ghosts in the system, George was a guy that would track that down and tell you what's wrong with it. A really smart guy, really great guy. And so in one of the labs he was working in, one of the seniors gave him this microscope. So he has a new microscope now. He's retired, but he has a new microscope now. And he said, this microscope was given to me, so I thought I would give it to you. And that's really cool. So I think you've been around for this, all you guys. Enzo, what's up? I did have a good holiday weekend. What was I going to say? I have no idea what I was going to say. Oh yeah, we started this already, and you can't see it because it's down on the microscope now, but we started this penny for him. He doesn't know this. It's a 1947 penny. I thought I'd pick something that was important for 1947, and I came up with the Bell X1 breaking the sound barrier, and put that on, that which happened in 1947. So we put that on. We're going to put that on a penny, frame it, and give it to him as a thank you. So the question was could I get this to work so that I can use the microscope over here, and you guys could see what I'm doing? So this is what I came up with. You guys are going to see this, not this because it's overexposed because I got a ton of light on this, but we'll fix that in a second. But you guys will be at a little bit of an angle. I was filming Open Studio, so that's why the exposure is so bright. But this is what you guys will see. So you guys will still be really, really close. You'll see what I'm doing. You also have the highlights of Lincoln in there, which is pretty cool. And then I'm just going to work on this. So I don't know what's going to happen. I've never worked with a microscope, so could be good, could be really bad. I see Kyle. Kyle, what's up, man? Son of Gary. John, what's good, man? Good to see you. Patty. Hello, Patty. I think I missed you. All right. I think I have palette cam. I have everything going. I did try to set this up beforehand. And fortunately, I'm not hearing, keep your fingers crossed, I'm not hearing thunder and lightning right now. So I can't really show you what's going on in the microscope, but that on the title screen, I'll show you. That's what I see right there. That's it. So I've got it dialed in so that it's pretty good. It's actually more than pretty good. It's pretty amazing. Chris Garcia, what did you use to prep the surface? I just used Autoborne Sealer Transparent to prep this. So I polished the penny I can't flip it over because it's taped down. I polished the penny, which is not really, I mean, if you collect coins, you don't do that. But for this, I thought some of the penny would show, but it doesn't. So I polished it, and then I sprayed it with transparents. This is the 6000 sealer, and that was ready to go. All right, so I think what I'm going to do, oops, I forgot my photo. The photo I'm using is actually a painting by another artist. And I'm using the photograph, the real photograph. Actually, I'll switch back to this. But this is kind of my color inspiration. This is from Mark Carvin is the artist. And he did this great painting of the X1. So it's obviously it's different. It's completely different. I didn't use any of it, but I am going to kind of steal some of his background. And I love that blue sky. But, you know, like I said, I use the black and white photograph from the actual X1 for this one. So, again, just kind of stealing his colors, but good. What else we got? I don't know. Let's do it. Oh, John, I hope Callie's okay. I just saw that. Ian, I've seen many bands over the years. Can't remember who my first one was. Yeah, that's awesome, Ian. All right. So, all right, so first off, and I'm going to keep checking the camera because you guys aren't going to see what I'm seeing either because I'm much closer than you guys. First off, when we laid this out, we blocked everything in. I really like the sky. That's going to be where it stays. So I thought we'd work on the ground a little bit. But now, because I can get so much closer, you can see all that overspray at the nose. That really has to be fixed first, but that's boring. So we're not going to do that. We'll work on the ground a little bit. I think that'll be more fun. This light may go to, ooh, that isn't the light that's doing that. I mean, I don't mind that reflection, but yeah, that's better. It's not so in your face. All right. So basically there's going to be some hand painting done. Turn on Mr. Palette Cam here. Oh, you get the light there. Incidentally, I'm not using my normal OT lights. I'm using my other OT lights from my other workstation. Hold up. I gotta get my paintbrush. Maybe I'm not prepared. It's also new Winsor Newton Day too. So I got a brand new Winsor Newton brush because my other one was tired, and so that's over here. Bug, you're the man. Thank you and hello. So I got my brand new Winsor Newton double aught, so that should be good for a year. All right, so basically what's going to happen here with the background, and I'll show you the Mark painting because it's beautiful and it's really what the feel I want. See how the atmospheric perspective is in the back, it blurs the horizon. That's going to happen too, but see all that great detail in the ground? We're going to kind of do that too. So I'm just going to use, I got a bunch of brown out here already, so I'm going to start with that. Oh my gosh, painting with a microscope. Oh, this is really weird. All right, it's going to take some getting used to. The reason why it's going to take, well, I guess we can talk all about it as we're doing it. Wow, holy crap. First off, microscopes don't have depth of field like your eyes do. Like they can't adjust for depth of field. So the penny itself is in focus for me right now. But as I'm moving in on the ground here, the paintbrush is not. And I just, it's going to be fun. This is going to be what could go wrong. You guys wanted it. Oh my gosh. Maybe I should have painted a little bit on my own first, but you guys get the raw deal here. This is very thin. So the other thing I've been noticing too, oh my gosh, so I could be surgical with this though. This is crazy. The other thing I've been noticing too, you know, I've been using this, the new reducer, the 4021 reducer. You guys can see what I'm doing? Yeah. The 4021 reducer, and you know, I know everyone's been like saying how amazing it is This is so weird. I want to cheat by like looking at the penny, not through the microscope. This is bizarre. Well, I can tell you right off the bat, unless something happens and I get really used to this, I really like painting without the microscope. But this is good. This is good. You got to do it. One thing I'm finding with the 4021, the new reducer, is it doesn't work with the paintbrush as well for me. So I got to figure out if it's just the paint or if it's the reducer or what. But before, when they had the 4012 and the 4011 both available at the same time, it's the reason why I started using 4011 for the paintbrush work. Because the 4012 did the same thing. It would like separate the paint, but not, it wouldn't like break the paint down, it would break the paint apart. So when I use the 4012 with the paintbrush, I'd sometimes get these little, like it would separate them into like chunks, you know? So what I'm finding is sometimes the new reducer is doing the same thing. So I gotta find out from Createx if they're gonna be discontinuing 4011. I did notice on Spray Gunner's site they still have some 4011. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's true, Bob. Everything will be small. The mistakes. Instead of your microscope, you need a magnifying glass. Yeah, Dan, that would have been the next, the next correct step. But George gave you the microscope, so we just jump right in. So I'm going to grab some of this green. I don't know what kind of green this is. Oh, I know what kind of green. This is the Model Master green. So there's some green mixed in here. I think I could get used to this, but it is very weird. Like the tip of the paintbrush is in focus, but the other stuff is not. What is really cool is though, I can see a lot. Like there's a little fleck of dust there. There's a little tiny bit of dust there that I would have never probably even bothered with had I not been able to see it like this close. Now the background itself is tan. We basically base coated that originally. So that's my underpainting for this. So it's nice. All these little layers here will just build up and add to that. Brian Moore, what's up? I know, I would have loved to have seen Rush too. I was a big Neil Peart fan. Oh yeah, this is crazy. What I can actually see in the microscope, and then I look at the penny, I'm like, holy smoke! That's like you can't even like really make it out. And then someone's going to have to remind me too, because I keep forgetting the artist's name, and I feel bad about it because I reference him all the time. He's the British artist that does the sculptures in the head of needles. Super well-known artist, and like I said, I keep forgetting his name because I'm dumb. But he uses a microscope, and he has a stethoscope, like an electronic stethoscope attached to his chest, so he can paint in between heartbeats. And I said I would never get there, and I won't ever get there. That's a level of insanity that I'm not gonna go after. Rhea. Yeah, Rhea, that's the jury's still out on that. I'm still working with it. I mean, I don't know that it's not a, I'm so used to things working the way they were working, that now I'm having a hard time adjusting. Wow, this is crazy. So, I typically try to work with something for a long time. Like Dave Goldfarb gave me an air cap for my CS to try out. And it's been over a year now, and I've been just like really putting it through all its paces. A big piece of dust Well, I'll take that back. A very small piece of dust just came off the brush. So back to Dave. But I really wanted to, make sure I put that through the, that I really used it a lot to get the feel. The same thing with the Grex brushes. And the same thing is going to hold true with the Infinity brush. Everyone loves the Infinity. It certainly does what it's supposed to do right out of the gate, but I need to use it a lot to get a real good feel for like what it does for me or what it doesn't do for me. So I think that's really the same thing as the new reducers. It's got sculpts and a grain erase. Yeah, there's a few of them, Chris. There, I've seen people, and then there's a bunch of people that do the pencil lead carvings, the graphite carvings, which are insane. Oops, that was a mistake. Oh, and it's a mistake that just dried. Can you guys can see this, right? Yeah, you can. Oh boy. You guys can see better than I can in a lot of ways. This is interesting though. You know what I see myself using this for is for making repairs or corrections on a painting, like a small painting, because I can see, I really can see everything. And it's easy to make adjustments here. Holy roly. What, are the fingers in the way? Sorry. There we go. Yeah, I mean, this is ridiculously small. What is that there? I have a huge screen. Oh, thanks, John. Yeah, I'd love to see that. So all this up top here is going to be faded out. Like it's all going to be atmospheric perspective, so you won't really see that. I do want to get some grays in here, though. What's up at $2? Brian, so the thank you for asking. The $2 painting, I need you guys to stay on me for that, because originally that was going to be my big entry for the Ashtabula show, but I didn't get it done in time. And that's fine. That's okay, because I had the other two ready to go in case, and that's how it worked out. Hopefully that gets in to the second round of judging, which is I'll find out next week on that. But now what happens is the $2 bill painting is now, it's same thing happened to it that it's happened to it like 4 or 5 times in the past. Like, I'm not working on it right now, and what's going to happen is it's going to sit there, and then I'm not going to work on it for 2 years, and then I'm going to be bummed out. So I need you guys to stay on me and keep that keep me working on it. A little programming note. Wow, this is flooding out. A little programming note for next week too. This weekend I am going to head over to Massachusetts to celebrate my grandson's first birthday, which is pretty exciting. And so I get back on Monday. I'm planning still on doing the feed. I'll probably roll in right before it. And what I was thinking about doing was just working on the airbrush holder. Now I have talked to Artem, and I said, hey, what do you think about this? Do you want to do some sort of, giveaway or raffle, or not raffle, but something? And he said, definitely, just let me know what you want to do. So I'm going to kind of wrap my head around that. Brian, yeah, definitely that one. Psychologically, I need to finish that one. That's been in the works for too long, and it's that, the meaning behind that painting, it needs to be done for me. So it will get done this time, but I just got to make sure I'm working on it. And now I got 3 commissions that I'm going to try to get done, or I am going to get done. But yeah. Oh yeah, this is stupid. Stupid, 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 small. Thanks, yeah, little Caleb's turning 1. It's hard to believe. All right, there's a little tiny speck. You guys can see it too, barely. It's right there. But to me, that thing is the size of a bus, which makes me sad. So I'm going to fix it, because I can fix it. And this is what I was talking about. I need daylight blue, which is over here. This is what I was talking about. It's like I could see so well, like I could see up close so well here, that that this might be a good way to like make repairs on a painting. Like if I need to fix something, this will give me a lot of control over that. Like I don't see myself working on like the New York painting or the Tokyo painting right now, just because there's, you know, I'd say there's probably, well, the penny pretty much fills up the screen, the viewers for me. So that's not a very big area, and I like to kind of work all over the place. So, you know, I probably won't use it for a full-blown painting, but all right, so here's your repair. I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's below the clear coat or above the clear coat. I don't think it's above, because I tried to like kind of rub it off and it didn't come off. So paint with a needle. I know these brushes, you know, I may jump down to the 3/0 if I should have ordered one. I don't think I have one. 23 minutes, perfect. Yeah, I don't think I have a 000. I know I bought them, but oh yeah, repairs, this is the way to go. So there's, I know you can't see this, but there's a little black speck right here. So I can just put paint right on that speck. Oh my gosh, that's cool. All right, that is cool. That's going to be okay. I've taken the curse off this one enough that when I spray this with the atmospheric perspective, basically it's like a foggy white, it'll cover that. All right, so just the background stuff, which is, yeah, it's so cool. This brush actually feels too big. No, I'm not going to do it. I was going to go over and see if I do have a 000 in my brush drawer of wonder. I have all my Winsor & Newton brushes, like even the old ones, in 2 drawers. Astral, what's up? Brian. No, I didn't see that, Brian. I haven't been on social media. I'm going to go look for that. Oh, shoot. It's too much. Where is that? There we go. So, yeah, back to the schedule. So next Monday might be kind of weird. There's an outside chance that I don't make it back in time. In which case, now you know why. But I do intend to, and my plan is to be back. As far as time-lapse Tuesday for next week, I'm hoping to get that done this week. So you'll still have time-lapse Tuesday. And I've filmed Open Studio for this week and next week. So I should be all set there. So we should be in pretty good shape. All right, so I'm just going to go in reverse. I'm going to paint these farther details larger. I'm going to paint in reverse. I posted an image of my Lucida adaptation on my Instagram. Medical slides. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Astral, the stuff you do is awesome. Everything from, you know, making your own paint and grounds to, you know, to the, just all the cool stuff. Yeah, I love watching what you're doing. All right, let's get some white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up kind of a tan color, like the background. And I'll start basically cleaning up what I've done. And I'm looking at this thing now, just with my naked eye, and I would leave everything that I'm about to work on. But because I can see it, I can actually I can do stuff, which is fun. So yeah, I think, like anything, like any tool, there's an upside and a downside. The upside is if I'm working on things this small, this is a really cool way to do it. The downside is, like everything we talked about, the depth of field, the size of the painting I could work on, the I don't know what this is going to do to my eyes. You know what I mean? Like if I worked 8 hours like this, what would that look like? I don't know what would happen there. I did ask George that though, because George, like I said, he's a microscope guy. That's what he does. And I asked him, I said, so how do your eyes feel after a day of work? And he goes, fine. So I'm like, wow, that's crazy, because right now my eyes are fatigued if I work all day on a small painting and I'm like right up close. So I thought that was really interesting. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe it just I don't know, it relieves your eyes because you're not straining. Maybe that's it. And you need tons of light too. Wait, what happened with honey? Oh, you guys are still doing bands. I love it. How's that look? Looks good. This is crazy. This is all crazy. This is nuts. This is insane. It's cool. I'm having fun. The little dust specks, which are definitely under the paint and the clear, now they're bugging me. Like I want to dig them out, but you can't see them, so there's that. That's funny. Nice. Feeling good about that. Bill Snagan, what's up? I would have loved to see Pantera too. I did was it the last concert I saw? Yeah, the last concert I saw was a Father's Day gift from my kids. We went to see the Foo Fighters, which was one of the best concerts I've been to. It was at Fenway Park, and it rained like crazy, but it didn't stop them. It was cool. All right, am I ready for airbrushing on this? What time we got? My aunt knew Ozzy. That's crazy. What time we got? Oh, I got 15 minutes. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're airbrushing. What do I want to do this with? Let's see. Where is it? I'm down an airbrush holder too, because there was an airbrush holder on the Visionaire, so that's been throwing me off. Yeah, all right, so we'll put the atmosphere in here because I'm pretty happy with that right now. So this right now is the very first time I've airbrushed with a microscope. This should be fun. Went to Prime Saturday. Oh man, that's awesome. 9 Inch Nails was another band that I really wanted to see, but never got a chance. Yeah, it's honey. I'm the same. It looks like someone stole my. Well, I've been using Pandora, but Spotify and all that. It looks like someone stole it. It's everything from the Andrews Sisters to the Cult. All right, so I think we're going to do this with light blue, although I might want to do it with white. White. I'm going to try it with white. This is crazy. Yeah, I'm looking at this now, and it's like I'm looking with my naked eyes, and I can't see with my naked eyes what I did, which is kind of fun. Yep, Alice in Chains would have been good. Stone Temple Pilots, I would have loved to have seen the original Stone Temple Pilots. That's dirty. Why is that dirty? Who else? Audio Slave, I would have loved to see originally live, yeah. And then of course, there's the, before my time. Like I would have loved to see Frank Sinatra in his prime, and Bing Crosby, Ella Fitzgerald, Charlie Parker. That would have been crazy. Billy Strings, I want to see him. He's insane. In that same category of insanity. Oh, there's chunky stuff in here. What is this? Well, that's not good. Sorry, I got big chunks of paint in my brush. There we go. Who else? Dean Martin would have been awesome. Yeah, the original Beach Boys would have been a blast. Of course, the Beatles would have been a blast to see live in like 1965. But then, you could go through the whole list. The Who and seeing Jimi Hendrix live and catching Stevie Ray Vaughan in some smoky, weird bar somewhere would have been insane. Bowie would have been, I've never seen Bowie. Keith, my buddy, has seen Bowie a ton of times. Seeing Freddie Mercury would have been insane. All right, so I've got white in here. This is super reduced. I'll go to this side because you won't be able to see it. So this is 1 part white paint to 10 parts reducer. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow this line right across the horizon here. But first I'm going to test this out somewhere else because, again, I'm not playing games with this thing. Here we go. Pearl Jam 10. Brian, so my Pearl Jam story is like my U2 story. I was in my 20s when Pearl Jam was like huge, and they were so overplayed. It's like Nirvana. I wanted nothing to do with them. Nothing. Because it was so overplayed. And it turns out, like, years later, like I said, I love the Foo Fighters, and I love Nirvana, and I love that whole era of music, but it burnt me out at the time that I just wanted to have nothing to do with it. All right, so what could go wrong? Let's find out. Here is airbrushing with a microscope. Yeah, there's this first what could go wrong. Oh, this is beyond weird because, again, there's no depth of field here. Yeah, see, I'm blowing this thing up. I'm not happy with that. I can't see, like, the airbrush is blurry in the microscope. And if you know about airbrushing, you judge how far you are away, obviously, before you start spraying, and that gives you the cone, the spray. That's funny, and I'm looking at this thing through the microscope, and I made a complete mess, but I look at it for real, and you can't even see it. All right, I got this. This is fine. This is what could go wrong. What I am going to do is, though, I'm going to thicken this up a little bit. Eric Clapton. Oh, yeah, exactly. Seeing 80s Eric Clapton would have been amazing. Yardbirds would have been cool. We had Johnny Winters in the bar playing. And the same thing, Michael. So I grew up in Massachusetts, and I hear all these stories from like people who are like 10 years older than me who are talking about how they saw Aerosmith in Boston, in small places, and just like crazy. Dressing with Saxonite Sonny. That's awesome. That's crazy. Sonny and Cher. Yeah, seriously. Tina Turner in the prime of her life. All right, we're going to try this again. This is a little bit thicker. So what was happening was I went with the thinner paint because I thought I was going to need a lot more control. But what's happening is because it was so thin and I don't have, there it goes again. Because I don't have that depth of field, it's hard for me to see where the needle really is. So I'm pulling the trigger back too far and I'm flooding the surface. Now the good news is where it's happening, it's all going to be covered in white anyway. So this is a good chance for me to kind of get used to this before I do it in a more critical area. But I'm not kidding when I tell you I can see like the blue above it, the sky, I can see the atomization of the paint. I can see the droplets of the paint, which that's insanity. You guys still on me? Got it? Yeah, it's working for you guys. Ryan! Can I watch for 15 minutes? Ryan, you can watch for 15 minutes. I'll allow it. Ryan, and go check out Ryan's latest post. He did a kind of, I think it's a throwback, right, Ryan? But that painting is great. And it's not just because it has skulls in it. The way you handle that thing is amazing. But it's also because it has skulls in it. Yeah, I can see the individual droplets of paint particles from the white. That is out of control. And this, I guess it's like anything, you know, it's just taken me a little bit of time to like feel where the right spot is, I guess, you know, and then it works as it's supposed to. But yeah, in the microscope, the entire airbrush is blurry. But the effect is happening. All right, so that's it. So that's the horizon now. That's nice and fogged out. But the ground needs to have that same atmospheric perspective. And this should be a little bit easier because I'm not trying to hit that horizon line. I can just kind of back up a little bit and hit the whole thing, which is nice. I should have enough time. Tony D! Ronnie Van Zant, that's amazing. So what am I going to do? I'm going to add a little bit of, I'm going to see if I can do some repairs because I'm feeling saucy. So I know I used daylight blue for this sky. At least I hope I did. So we're going to add daylight blue. I shouldn't be using this brush. I should be using the Micron C. I'm using the B right now because I thought I needed the control, which I did, but this brush doesn't deal with white very well anyway. So, so I'm going to go back to what works. I'm going to switch to the C and then just kind of go for it. Who else? I said Stevie Ray Vaughan. I would have loved to have seen him live. Who else? Ryan. Thank you, buddy. Trying to think of people like I really, really like. I'd like to see a lot of people, but I'm trying to think of people that like, man, that sucks that I missed them. That kind of thing. Damian Steele. I didn't get to see them. Would have liked to have caught them. There's a bunch of crap in my brush. There's a snake in my boot. All right, you guys are going to enjoy this. I'm picking this out of the color cup right now. I'm going to show you guys what I just pulled out. What the actual hell is that? I don't know what that is. I do know what that is. It's paint, but what the heck? What's that doing in my brush? And that I didn't need a microscope for. That was just a mess. Gwar! Steve! I would have loved to have seen Gwar. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Yep. I had a buddy who was really into Gwar. That's so funny that you said that. Dio. I would have loved to have seen Dio. That would have been cool. I have never seen Van Halen. That's weird because I love Van Halen and I had to think about it. I would have loved to have seen either version, Van Hagar or Van Halen. Yeah, that's solidly on the list of regrets. Like I should have seen them. Gwar, yeah, you're talking about Gwar is still around. Twisted Sister. That's awesome. Yeah, that was my thing. I know you probably don't picture me as a Motley Crue, whatever, but yep. I loved him. Loved him, loved him, loved him. He has a son of a band named Mammoth. Oh, I think I knew that. Did I know that? Snoopy Dogg fighting the Red Baron. Raoul, that was one of my favorite 543s. I did that. I did a Snoopy on his doghouse, but I think I did like an ME-109 in the background for I think a British, not an ME-109 because of World War One. So no, it would have been a British something. Yeah, I would have loved to see Tina Turner, Bob. All right, so now we got to get the repairs done. So let's jump back to that blue. I know we're getting close, so we'll figure it out. Devo, yeah, that's awesome. Mic drop. All right, so I've got the Micron C, which handles that white paint a lot better. So we're gonna start out with a light blue, and I'll start doing repairs, and then I'll just modify the blue as we go, and that'll kind of take care of things for me. Hopefully I'll get to the darker parts so I can fix around the plane, because that's really what's next. The sky isn't going to have clouds or anything. It's just going to be what it's going to be, which is nice. And the skies are not clearing, but they're much brighter right now. So I'm super happy after seeing the woe and misery that Scott went through. I don't want that. 3 minutes, that's perfect. I'm going to get started on this. I'm not going to move anything. I'm just going to kind of do this wherever I can. All right, so to fix this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this upside down. And this is going to be lighter than I need, I think. And I'm going to have to use a template for this because I can't hold a cutout small enough. So we're going to use, speaking of Scott McKay, we're going to use his Pyro Curve template, which I use a lot. And I'm just lining it up with the bottom of the jet. And I'm going to try to do this so my big fat fingers aren't in the way. But I got to be able to hold this at the same time. So we'll try to figure this out. This is insanely goofy. Oh, but wow, holy crap. All right, that's moving around too much. So let me tape this down. 3 minutes or 2 minutes now. So I'm going to tape, there we go, put a little bit of tape on there so that doesn't move. What was happening was it was sliding around as I was trying to line up the template. Yeah, no, you're not deja vuing Astral. I started this on a live stream with just the macro lens, but now we're doing microscope stuff. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at that overspray. Can you see it? Yeah, you're good. No, well, I don't know if you can see the overspray, but so what I'm doing is I'm using the template to kind of block the orange of the jet. Oh, depth of field. Yay, that sucked. Yeah, I missed, but that's okay. That's still really crazy. The good news is the color's right on, so that's good. Oh my gosh, that's actually working. The Eye of Ra, that's a good one, Raoul. I think I've done that, but I love ancient Egypt stuff. And for those that are new, if I say, oh, hey, I already did that, that does not mean that I won't redo it. Or, also, you're still eligible to, to get in the win. So I think Raul already won, but still. Yay, that's cool. That's not cool right there, though. That big splotch of paint. You guys can see that. Yeah, you can. That was a mistake. So before we go and do the giveaway, I'm going to see if I can get that off. Now, there is 6,000 on this, so I'm going to take the eraser and see what I can do with it. But what I'm going to be real careful of is that I don't scratch into the blue, which I am. All right. Am I, though? Hold on. Let me sharpen this up a little bit. I know we'll definitely do the giveaway. I just need to see this through. I'm going to sharpen this eraser up a little bit just so I can make sure I get right in there. But I'm going to try, because I think there's 6,000 on that section right there. So I'm going to see if I can like just erase down to the 6,000 to get rid of the white paint. That's the easiest way to repair it. I mean, I can paint over it, but I've got to match the blue fade and all that. And so that can be a challenge. So if I can get rid of it just by erasing, then I'll be happy. It isn't so much the black on the eraser, it's how sharp it is. Oh my gosh, what is that? That's crazy. Oh yeah, the microscope is definitely the advantage for doing repairs with a microscope. That's so far that's number one thing. So what I'm doing is I'm just lightly going over where that airbrush blast was. And as long as I use a light touch, and this is just a regular, pencil eraser. Well, it's a, stick eraser. I could just kind of keep working it and just keep going over it lightly, and it will just rub off that overspray or the the mistake. All right. Wow, that's all right. Who would have guessed? All right, let's give away some stuff. This is what we got right here. That's what we got. So let's do this. But first, while you guys are talking amongst yourselves, I did not set up the random number generator, so it'll take me just 2 seconds to do that. There are 10 lovely people on this list tonight. There were a lot of people on the list who made suggestions, and I'm deeply, deeply thankful for that. You guys rocked. So the people who have already won aren't eligible to win again this calendar year, but they still put in their suggestions, and I think that's fantastic. One, I mean, there's an outside chance that I'll actually paint your painting, which is fun. But two, it helps me out a lot when you guys make comments and do your thing. Ryan, have a good night. I'll catch you later. All right. I'll show you these real quick, and then we'll get to the giving. Don't forget to sign up for the mailing list so I can feel better about telling you guys that the sale is going on until the 15th. It's summer 25 is the code. Just type that in on my site, and it gives you 25% off. What am I saying? It gives you 40% off everything. So that, let me show you real quick. So that's summer 25 is the code, 40%. And I have these two on the site now because I just finished framing them. There's this one was called brass, but for some reason I wrote balls on the back. Or the balls. So that's the brass one. We did that one live. So that's all framed up in its little shadow box now, ready to go. And the other one is the 1956 Bel Air hood ornament. And that's also framed up and ready to go. And that was just called 1956. So these two are on there too. All right. Real quick, let's do this so we can give some stuff away. Where's my list? Where's my list? There it is. All right. Jeff Simon was first in with a conch shell. And that one is duly named conch. Next up is Kelly Drake. Asked for a melting ice cube. That is my melting ice cube, and that's called Melted. It's fun. Next one is Rhea Shea. Rhea asked for an Appaloosa horse, and that's my Appaloosa. I always want a Dalmatian. So I don't know how that ties in other than the color, but there we go. So that's my Appaloosa. Gary Shees with Pinhead. That's my Pinhead. I gotta rewatch that movie. I haven't seen it in a while. And last but not least, Rick Lotta asked for the ISS transiting the moon, and that's what I got, and that's transit. I do have a couple moon paintings. I really like painting the moon. So if you want to see how I did this, it's Time-Lapse Tuesday. It'll be on tomorrow at 10 a.m. In the time-lapse section, so you can check that out. And yeah, so there's your 5. I know 5 of them. I know, right? 5? He did 5? So wait, a 543 is actually a 543 again? At least for this week. Next week there'll be 1. So that's, you know, that's what we got. All right. Your list. I don't know if you can read this. You can't. I don't know. You're all on it. Everyone who's on it is on it. Can I do that? Yeah, I can. All right, let's do this. There we go. There we go. Brian Moore, Wayne, Patricia. Raul didn't win. That's cool. Ian, Rhea, Kelly, London Penn, Sean's on there, Steve, and Jeff. There is your list. And your winner tonight, is it going to be Ian? We don't know. It's 9. It's Steve. Congratulations. Ian, I promise you're going to win someday. Oh, thanks, Rhea. There we go. So congratulations, Mr. Steve. You are our winner tonight. So if you would like one of those 5, let me know. If Fitbiffwe doesn't want one of those, they'll all go on the site, and you can use the code for those if you want. Oh, you are here. Excellent. Yeah, if you want one of those, let me know, Steve. Or if you want to just go on the site and pick one, you can do that. I know, Bob. No, Ian, my friend Ian will get a painting. You don't worry about that. All right, let's keep cleaning this thing up, and then I think we'll be in good shape. Ah, nice. Steve's keeping this one. Good for you, Steve. That's awesome. All right, so I got to clean up the top. Wow, that repair is like really good considering. It's crazy. Yeah, so Steve, I'll try to keep an eye on it. If you know which one you want out of those 5, let me know. And if not, you know, that's cool, like I said. I think what I'm going to do is what am I going to do? Because that repair down there on the bottom half of the plane worked out really well. This thing is pointed like a needle, or like a, let me just show you. So it's got that really sharp point on it. Obviously, I don't have that on my jet yet, but that's okay because I'm just trying to get the background set so I can do this. Motor, what's up? Watching from South Carolina, we're really enjoying this. And I propose nothing other than you naming bands reminded me of seeing Primus. I would have loved to seen Primus. That's awesome. Welcome, Motor. Motor, if you would like to do, someone hasn't done it recently, but I just showed off all those black and white paintings, and Steve won one. If you would also like to win one, all you got to do is type 543 and then give me a suggestion to paint something for next week, and you're in to win. So super easy. Couldn't afford 2 international postage. Yeah, international postage sucks now, and that's terrible. I wish there's something I could do about that. And it used to be that like I was, like my website calculated the postage at the highest, possible rate. And what I would do is I would just reimburse people the difference. But I think it was Kelly, actually. Kelly placed an order, and it was what the website said it was. It was like, holy crap. Like, I don't know if it was the tariffs or everything just went up or what. Bob, have a good night. That's awesome. Bob, But that does not affect your win. If you're in the UK or if you're anywhere in the world, if the post office, if the postal service can get it to you, there are some places obviously that we can't ship to. But if the U.S. Postal Service ships to that country, I will get it to you, and you do not have to pay shipping on a win. So keep that in mind. I'll throw one else out there too, and here's the rub. I can't do that because it'll jump to that. But one other thing too, if you say you win a 543 and you want another one, the postage doesn't really go up for just the unframed paintings. The postage goes way up when I have to put it in a box. So if I have to frame it, if I frame it for you, or you get like 7 of them or 10 of them where they have to go in a box, that's when the postage goes through the roof. But if I can get it out in the envelope that I send them out in, you don't have to worry about that. I will reimburse you the shipping if it comes up on the website. So yeah. All right. What else we got? I don't know what we got. So the other thing I would do here too is I would fix a lot of the overspray too. Like, I don't know if you can see it on the tail, on the tail of the jet on the X1. There's a lot of overspray too. I'm going to try to fix this by hand, which means or with the paintbrush, to see what that looks like. This is not daylight blue on the painting though. Oh, it's super crazy transparent. Even though daylight blue is an opaque color, in order to get it to flow out, I have to reduce it, and then it ends up being really transparent. But actually, you know what? It's not that bad. Grumpy. Stop it. Thank you, though. No, like I said, that's part of winning. I do the shipping on the wins, so you don't have to worry about that. But I will buy a pint with that. Yeah, this is working. Wow. Unbelievable. All right. There's all kinds of crap up here. And I can see it now because I can see it. Holy roly. There's all kinds of garbage up there. How'd that come from? The ground looks great though. I'm happy. What's that scratch right there though? Is that a scratch? Tell me it's not a scratch. That's a damn scratch. All right, I guess we're fixing that. Thank you. Not in the UK you wouldn't? Yeah, no, actually not here either. That's true. What's the conversion rate? Is it still around close to 1-to-1, right? Yeah, it's what, $6 for beer just about anywhere here. 6 to 10. Patty, have a great night. Patty, your thing's going out too, so I will get that rolling as soon as I get those mats in. They like I said, they were supposed to be here today. I didn't see them before I came down, but we'll see. It'll be this week. It'll definitely be before I bug out. So, all right. So what's going to happen now is I should just do a painting with the paintbrush and see how small I can go. Because this wing right here, I could fit a whole bunch of stuff right in this area, which is not a big area. Oh. John, I know, it's crazy. So yeah, there's a hole right here. There's a piece of dust over here, which, all right, because I knew it was there, I can see it with my naked eye, but I don't know that I would have seen it if I didn't know it was there. But I can also fix it because I can see it. Oh, it's not even on the... I went to go touch it with the paintbrush and I picked it up. So it was on the outside. Yay. Makes it easy. There is a hole in the middle of the jet though. I have orange on here. I can fix that. Oh, do I though? This is all dried up. Oh, you cats can't see what I'm doing. Just yell at me. All right. This is, again, this is opaque orange from Createx, but it's not opaque. I mean, it is opaque, but when I get this all like, you know, reduced out so it'll flow off the brush, it's very transparent. So I'm going to add a little bit of white to it to start this particular repair. So it's going to be kind of like a popsicle orange. But it's going to work. This damaged spot is so small. And since I got it, wow. Okay. Now the front of the jet, here's the thing. Like, you know how I said the front of the jet is pointed and I don't have it? It's kind of rounded around. I don't know that that's, that I cut the point off or that I don't have the shape of this right. There is a way to check though, and we'll do that in a second. Let me just get another coat of paint on this dot of whatever. All right. Yeah, let's check it out. Let's find out what the deal is with that. See which way I need to go with the front of this. Oh, where are all the copies? Did I bring them over? I didn't bring them over. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to grab the copies for this. Almost there. Okay, sorry about that. I couldn't find them, so I just reprinted one. So that's the copy for this. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so we're going to grab one of these. So what we'll do is, I think what we'll do is I'll fix the jet, and then we'll probably call it there. Just 'cause I don't know how much. Here we go. Okay. Michael, your wet palette never looks like mine. That's a good thing. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here so I can line this up, and I'm just going to kind of do the flip trick here to see what I got. Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. All right, wait. Yeah, that's good news. I just dulled the end of the plane here. What I was afraid was that I just had the shape totally wrong, but all I did was I just dulled the point of the plane, which is perfect. Honey, have a great night. Thanks for everything. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll straighten out the the shape of the jet here, and then that'll be a good place to call it. So honestly, I mean, overall, I don't think this was that much of a crazy tragedy, which was nice because I didn't know what was going to happen. The other nice thing about having no point on the end of the jet here is, and I keep calling it jet, it was more like a rocket, but the good thing about not having the point on the end is there's a bunch of overspray on the front, and the actual front of the jet or plane or rocket is going to cover a lot of that. So now again, you know, I have to have this paint flow off the brush, so I have to have it a little bit thinner than it likes to be, so that means it isn't as opaque as it should be. Like if you just put it in an airbrush and spray it, this orange is pretty opaque. But because I'm trying to get it to come out of a paintbrush, I have to have it thinner, and that means it's less opaque. So you just got to use more layers of it to get it to build up. This is lovely. Seeing what I'm doing. Like I can even smooth out the brush strokes. I can see it so well. Alright, so I think I'm going to have to mess with it, but out of the gate, this would be like using the paintbrush with the microscope is much easier than using the airbrush with the microscope. Again, because I have that depth of field problem where I can't see the airbrush and I can't tell how far it is away from the surface. And if you know anything about airbrushing, that's the whole game right there. The closer you are to the surface, the tighter the detail is, and if you can't see where you are, that becomes a big problem. There's a bunch of overspray along here too, which I'll fix later. But now I get the point back on this guy, the glamorous Glennis, which Brian Dunbar sent me a message after, which Brian's great. He gives me all kinds of great information, but the story he told was not a great story. I guess the family of, why am I drawing a blank? I want to say John Glenn, but it isn't. It's John Glenn, right? Sound barrier? In any event, the family is going after anyone who does anything with this aircraft. So whether it's to the point of even they wanted to copyright the Bell orange color, which you can't do. You know, it's like Gulf blue. You can't do that. But yeah, I guess scale modelers were getting cease and desist orders on models that they built that included the glamorous Glennis logo. And the family's just being, like, I'm all for protecting copyrights, but it seems to be a bit out of control. Oh, Michael, cool. That's awesome. Michael, I'm going to miss your feeds this weekend if you're doing them this weekend because I'll be away, but I'll be catching them again once things slow down and stop being dumb. Not dumb, but crazy. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up so you can see it head on. That way you guys get a better idea of what's going on with this. This is fun. This is just, I've just put this on a piece of mat board so it's easier to handle. And I will focus that up, but there. So I've got the point on it. You can see the little bit of orange overspray at the tip of the nose. So I got to fix, there's also overspray on the edge of the coin too, orange overspray. I just got to fix that too. And I got to finish up the wing. You can see how the overspray continues down. But look at the ground. That came out good. And we did that with the El Microscopo. And we got the atmospheric perspective on there and everything. So so that works out. You can still read 1947 and Liberty and all that fun stuff. So yeah, so this is going to come out all right. Just got to finish it. I'll probably finish it when I get back. And I will keep you in the loop. I do have a frame for this as well, so that'll be fun as well. So, there you go. There's your Bell X1 on a penny so far through a microscope. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? So, Steve, I didn't see if you had... Thanks, John. Steve, I didn't see if you picked something, but you got a couple minutes to grab one of those 5 if you want one of those, or just, you know, you could take your time and pick one off the site. But let me know, because I want to get those 5 on the site. Don't forget to, wherever I put it, after you sign up for the mailing list on my website, you can use the code. Actually, you can use the code if you don't sign up for the website or the mailing list. It's summer 25. I extended it to the 15th. So that was kind of a bonus for the people on the mailing list. So that's, so yeah, that's what we got. Yeah, so go buy stuff, make me happy, keep the lights on. Everything else is normal this week, so we'll have time-lapse Tuesday. Rick Latta's Moon ISS will show up tomorrow at 10, and then 8 p.m. on Wednesday we got more of the Tokyo painting. That's coming out great. I'm tempted now to put that underneath the microscope, but maybe not. And then, like I said, I'm hoping to have the feed next Monday. We'll just work on the airbrush holder, and that's what I got. So there we go. All right. I'll look for Steve one more time. My favorite is the mini template. Oh, the mini template 543. Okay, Steve, so send me just go on my website and send me a message so I get it. And that comes with a template too. So you get a template with that as well. And I will get that to you. So all 5 of the other ones tonight will go up on the site if you want one. And that's what I got. All right. So have a wonderful evening. Have a great week. Be good to one another. Go use your microscopes, and I will catch you guys all next week. Have a great week. Later.